sitting on the couch watching the footage of Black Saturday, and maybe that's similar to today, where you never really think that you'll be on the wrong side of the news, and when you find yourself on the wrong side of the news, it's really scary, and it makes you really anxious. And I think about that. I think there's a bit of a similarity there with the current pandemic, is that we're kind of watching on all our screens and trying to get control through that. How that was the same for me after Black Saturday, but it almost stokes your anxiety sometimes too.
Because it's the same, yeah. It's interesting you're comparing it to what's going on right now, because it is that idea of humans being in uncharted territory, where once there was order and control and routine and dailiness, and suddenly everything's sort of turned upside down. Not that I want to necessarily compare them strictly, but broadly, I suppose you can do that.
Oh, and I think I was brought straight back to Black Saturday, obviously with the Black Summer being, but the other day I was going for my allowed walk down in Thornbury down the road, and kind of a couple of police bikes drove past quite slowly. And it just kind of made me really remember how many army officers and police officers and SES workers kind of came to our road after our house burned down. And you really had that lack of control that once when you're in somewhere that you think's your home, you realise how close to the edge you are of it not being your home. And I know obviously people all around the world deal with that as a daily reality, you know, refugees and so many different people, that's their daily reality. But as quite a privileged person in Australia, you kind of get a bit naive and you don't realise that we are so close to the edge. And I think I'll always remember after Black Saturday, you know, we were standing, Dad and I and my brother and my then boyfriend and my brother's girlfriend and my mum, kind of at the road where the poles had fallen down, and it was all kind of smouldering in this really big, and Dad and I talk about this all the time, there was this big SUV that came up to our letterbox, which was funnily enough still standing. And the windows wound down really, really slowly, and there were these policemen in caps and in kind of really intense uniform. And they said, "Oh, you know, what are you guys doing here?" And my dad answered, and he said, "Oh, this was our house." And he was like, "Righto," and then just like wound up the window and moved on, because in scenes like that normal interactions seem to, you know, it's kind of like a war zone. People think that people are looting. People think that they're going to their houses, their rubble, just to kind of take photos. And I always remember that scene. It's really stuck with me. And I think about it a lot.